So this is a really, really easy way to understand the flaws of all paradigms and of thoughts or ideas or beliefs that you might have about anything as an individual and as a collective. So your own personal beliefs and the beliefs of your culture or society. And so the complexity, the elegance, and the power of a belief system is going to follow or mimic a human life cycle. And so it's going to reach its peak at a certain point. And so before the peak, you'll see philosophy, intellectualism, just mental performance in general. Before the peak, before the prime, you'll see that building, getting higher and higher and higher. And then it'll peak. And that's like an athlete in their prime, in their 20s, like like an Olympic gymnast or an Olympic swimmer. It's like their prime happens at this specific age range almost always. And then before and after that, it's downhill. So it's like you can peak as a civilization and then be in this downhill thing to where the ancient ideas seem more advanced, like they're more profound than what you could come up with. And that's because it's like looking back at your, it'd be like if I went to the swimming pool and looked back at like how I used to swim in college, there'd be this crazy discrepancy in what I was capable of doing. But in this more advanced age, to where like the mental ability maybe isn't quite as powerful, there's like maybe a deeper understanding in a certain way. Right? Like all the belief cycles and the paradigms are all going to follow the human life cycle. So it's like you can kind of see possibly where you are on the life cycle of the zeitgeist, or the life cycle of the paradigm that you're in. And then even yourself, your most powerful thinking is gonna mimic or be tied to your most creative thinking is going to come at a particular age, usually like youthful, and then everything after that is kind of a derivative of it. And as you get older and older and older, you get more and more like kind of senile. You can't think on your own. You need a device to think. You need devices to have like telepathy. You need devices to remote view. You need devices to remember. Devices to communicate, to plan, to schedule. And so that's a sign of old age. People think technology is like, ooh, gee whiz, the society's taking off. Like, no, technology is like the equivalent of a society getting a walker or a wheelchair. Right? The technology is legit all stuff that happens naturally in the prime of the society, and you make a technology for it as the society gets older. Technology is always the death, and so the more that you fight death, the deeper you go into death, the more techno whatever the society gets, which is actually, and the society is always crumbling because it's aging. It needs to die to refresh itself. So the more technologically addled you get, where it's like keeping you alive, it's also the more like decrepit, dead, just ancient, just all those things. Because you can keep putting yourself on more and more and more life support, and really that's And yeah, that's technological progress. Like, technological process is always done to deal with the aging process. And the technological process does not halt or prevent the aging process. It just allows it to go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper before you die, as it replaces more and more failing systems that would have normally killed you. So you can replace the systems that failed, but it's still everything else along with that system is like also old and failing. So it's more and more and more. And I don't even remember. I have no memory of what this video was about. I fugued. Like, I was paying attention to driving. I have no idea what I talked about.